You're watching New Car Spin. I'm your host, Brian Grant, where I put the spin on new cars, and we are at Audi of South Austin. This is the Q8. This thing is badass. Take a quick guess what you think the price is. Nope, you're wrong. Let's check it out. You'll notice it has a 3-liter V6 engine, an 8-speed, and 20-inch wheels. It actually has 22-inch wheels. They're an option. So we'll go down the options list. You'll notice they don't put the horsepower on here because, just as I say, horsepower doesn't really matter. It's all about the emotion. And in my mind, SUVs right now are the hot thing. Trucks are the hot thing. It's all very emotional. So it all comes down to the monthly payments. The monthly payment on this, I have no idea. You have to talk to a dealer on that one. Any dealer that has a Q8 will help you. But price, ready? It starts at $67,000. This has the Prestige package, which includes 21-inch wheels, being an Olesen, 4-zone climate, blah, 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 camera, lume optics, just tons and tons and tons of options. It's a $9,150 option. Then we go to the luxury package, which is the Valcona leather. This leather is very buttery smooth. Like, I can't describe it on camera, but when I open the door and show you, you will like it. Adaptive chassis, so it has the adaptive air suspension, 22-inch wheels. These are 22s. Check that out on Continental Conti Sport Contact 6 tires, 285 40/22. That's a lot of beef. Contrast, blah, blah, blah. Ready? $90,205. And the fuel economy is pretty much SUV style. If you have an SUV, I don't think you care about fuel economy. It's just the way it goes. Let's check out the interior. Now these have cool door handles. You pull them open and the door actually pulls itself out. So they're electronic door handles. We have contrast colors in here. So we have a gray with some sort of a taupe, dark taupe. Whatever that color is called, I don't know. And we have open pore wood trim and obviously a suede material on the door panel. There's our Bang & Olufsen. Very nice. Now if we move in here, we see these are comfort seats and they are so smooth. Look at that. Just, oh, wow. And we have piping in here. We have contrast stitching. Look at all the detail in this section right here. We have leather on the center console. It's actually a different color from the leather on the center armrest. The wood, the detail on this wood, I don't know which wood this is, but it is remarkable in here. It is beautiful. And of course, these seats are multi-adjustable. You have your adjustment capabilities here. They have massage function. And of course, this extends out. So if you're a really tall person, and it's really good for road trips, you can hit the massage. You can extend the seat out a little bit, turn on the heated or the cooled seats, and get to work. I'm noticing these things for the first time because I haven't driven this car yet. We have leather on the dash. We have really nice detail on the headrests. We have another suede-like material on the B pillar and the A pillar. And check out the roof. Very nice. So let's hop in, turn the cameras on, and fire it up. Got my phone right here. We'll put on this tray. So we have a phone box where it can wirelessly charge and amplify the cell signal with the car's antenna. We have USB ports right here. There we go. USB ports right here and an SD card slot. And this adjusts, and when you adjust it, notice how it lifts up on its own. Very cool. And of course, this here is the pocket where you can store the car key. This is our electronic parking brake, and these are the new touch screens. So we'll shut the door, which is a soft close shut. So the door sucks closed, and then the window seals up inside of the roof. And I'll put my seatbelt on so we don't have to hear the chime. And what I'll do is I'll start this thing up, and we could watch all of this nice goody stuff, nice stuff, tech stuff. Watch it load. Ready? Wow. I noticed we have a storage compartment in here, kinda deep. Let's turn the volume down. The volume button's right there. Okay, we have climate controls, and then we have other menus. We're going to turn off stop start. And it's really weird. You push it and it has like this click to it. You hear that? So we have it set to 71 and auto. We're going to put it on sync. So you don't just tap it like a cell phone screen, you actually push on it like it's a button. So that to me is kind of freaky. This is a lot like what I saw in the Range Rover Velar, but not. I think it's a little easier to use because they use a dark background here. I'm not sure about glare. It's an overcast day here in Austin, Texas, so I can't talk about that. We'll have to wait for the summer to do that. And I'm sure I'll get this car for a week at one point if Audi gives press cars to journalists anymore. Let's see. We have, this obviously looks like the surround assistance. Okay, so we have driver assistance, which does, let's go back, individual, distance warning, presense, side assist, intersection assist, SOS emergency, and then we have exit warning. So that's like when you're parked and you open the door, if cars are coming, it'll flash here to let you know don't open the door. I actually don't even think it will open the door because these are electronic now. You just pull on them a little bit. You notice that? If you weird. It's pretty cool. All right, so what do you say we just take this around the block? This is this is a car for sale. These cars are actually on the dealer lots right now. The new A7, the new A6, the new Q8, the new A8. They all were dropped here this week, and they're all selling like crazy. So this one hasn't been sold yet. I'm sure it will this weekend. So if you're interested, I want to let you know that I want to thank Joe and Marcio and John for giving me the heads up that these cars are here. So if you're looking for someone to talk to, Joe, Marcio, and John. Not really Joe, but definitely Marcio and John. So what do you say I turn this camera off and we use these cameras and go run the block? Let's do that. Okay, now that I'm on those cameras, let's go ahead and put this thing in drive. We have an air suspension, so we'll do something here with drive select real quick. We will be in all road comfort, auto, dynamic, or individual. Let's go to auto for a second. And right now it's raising the suspension up. I can feel it raising. So when you saw me outside the vehicle, it was at the lowest position. Now we are in the normal ride height. And I don't know if there's an individual control for that. Let's see on the screen here how I would do that. There's really no button I could see. Let's try this menu one. Nope. That's downhill. That's. It has a heads-up display. It has a way to turn the power off on the screens. Let's go to the home button here. Vehicle, Audi Drive, select, and then we can hit raise, and then we can hit lower. Okay, so I'm not used to any of this. I'm used to Audis, but I'm not used to this Audi. So bear with me here. I'm sure if none of you have driven the Q8 or the new A7, A6, or A8 before, and you've never seen this dual screen setup, it's as new to me as it is to you. So let's go around the block. This is the V6, so I'm expecting great things out of it. I'm not sure if there's an SQ8, but what we'll do is just check it for the ride quality. Lots of customers here today. Some people recognize me. I noticed the seatbelt's just cinched in on me. That's a pre-sense thing. Removes all the slack in the belt. Now what I'm noticing here in this traffic is that it's a very quiet ride. It's very smooth, very subtle, and we are in auto mode. actually put us in all-road mode. Let's put that back into auto. There we go. Steering is... Well, let's check the steering again. We'll go around another corner. And if I push in on this button here to activate massage, you see here on the screen we have pulse, stretch, and relaxation, and we can adjust the intensity of it. We can adjust the seat bottom on the seat. We can adjust the, looks like we can adjust the bolsters. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so this air suspension is definitely soaking up all the bumps here, and it's providing a high level ride height. I feel like I'm running really high, higher than in the Q7. And over this crazy rough road, wow, even with these 22-inch wheels, it's doing a very good job. I'm not going to tear around this neighborhood in this car because it's probably going to be sold in the next couple hours. I'm just going to go for a nice drive here. So if you're looking for something crazy, sorry. What we're going to do here is give you a quick overview of this car and give you a taste of what the Q8 is. Alright, we'll go this way. The toe end seems a little, I don't want to say like it's not responsive, but it seems like it's a really heavy push on that throttle to really get off the line. And what we'll do here is we will change that. We will go into, let's close out the seat setting here, we'll go into dynamic. And rather wait for that truck, we'll just go around and take the next turn. Oh yeah, so dynamic definitely picks it up a little bit. We'll make our left here. I got a camera that's going to flop around a little bit. Oh yeah. 450. Okay, so it's picking up in speed, but you're not really hearing all of the sensation. So like back in the day, sportier Audis would have a deeper, throatier exhaust when you put it in dynamic. I'm not hearing it here. So this is definitely a luxury SUV. Obviously there is the lower trim version, or the lower model line, which is the Q7, which is actually bigger than this. It has a third, well, this doesn't have a third row, but it just has, it feels like it has more back seat space, but it only seats 5 people in here. So the Q7 has a third row. The Q7 can be had with a 4-cylinder turbo engine too, keep your price point down, compete with like the Acura MDX and a bunch of that stuff. But here in the Q8, you're looking for like the flagship SUV, which is now the Q8 with Audi. So what you have here is all of the tech, and then you have all of the luxury. And I know some people think the Q8 or the Audis in general, the interiors are pretty bland or basic or just too efficient. Not this time. But of course you are paying for that sort of luxury trim aspect. Yeah, it picks up nicely. It's, you know, you want to have the heads up and see your speed right away. Of course, we have the virtual cockpit in here, so we can change the display. Typical Audi fare at this point. There's some stuff in the trunk, like floor mats and boxes for the roof kit. So if you hear anything flopping around, it's my camera. It's the stuff, the junk in the trunk. Put my foot down. So my impression here is that if you loved the Bentley Bentayga but obviously could never afford it, what you're getting here is the more subtle version, and obviously it's about 1/3 the price. So coming in at $90, this thing is completely decked out, air suspension, upgraded leather, beautiful interior trim. Obviously, if the color is not your choice, I can understand that, but at least it's not just bland. It's not black. There are other colors you can get, but the way Audi does it is they have exclusive colors when you get to certain packages. So this is one way you can option this car out. And obviously, at such a new release, you're really not going to have much choice. So really, if it fits your price range, at this price point, you're getting something that looks good. I can't talk about reliability or anything because, I mean, this has only been here for like a week. And I do know that the A6, A7, A8, Q8, Q7, SQ5, S4, S5, I believe all of them are now using the same twin scroll, single turbo V6 engine. They just have different power outputs. And in the rest of the world, if you're seeing these YouTube videos in Europe and other places, they may have like a number designation on the trunk that says something like 60 or 55 or 40. They're not doing that nonsense here in the US. They're just calling it a Q8, and it'll have like a 3.0T badge on it, or you might see pretty soon an SQ8 or an S7, things like that. And they're not going to put power output on those, but you do know that the S designation is obviously the hot version. Cornering in dynamic mode here and over those railroad tracks, everything's very controllable, and the ride is sublime. And obviously it's very quiet. You'd hear how quiet it is if I would shut up. So I'm going to just be quiet for the next 15 seconds, and you'll get an idea for what this thing sounds like on its own. So, one thing I'm not a fan of are these exposed cup holders. I think overall, for me, that's it's obviously very convenient, but that's the one thing I'm just kind of like, I don't need to see that. And of course, when I get back to the dealership, which is Audi South Austin, we'll look at the trunk, we'll look at a few things, we'll put the seats down, just see what it's like in general. Audi stays the same throughout most of their models, the way they do the trim and the features, so I wouldn't expect this to be very different unless they did something completely new here compared to, like, for instance, the Q7. So we are almost at the dealership. I have to say, I really do love all this leather. It's just a lot of trim. It looks beautiful. And this is a head turner, and this car looks great. I gotta find a spot to park. We'll park it right over here. There you go. Alright, so let's shut this thing down and take a look at some of the cool stuff. And I'll go back to the other camera now. First thing you'll see here are the dual glazed windows. There's a sandwich of glass right here. That's what keeps it so quiet on the road. And if I shut this door slowly, you see it sucks the door in once and then a second time. That's obviously for pinch protection. If you open the door this way, you don't pull the door open. You pull the handle and it just pops open. It's very cool. When it pops open, the window goes down a little bit to clear the seal right up in here, so the window comes down. In the back seat, we have, look at that, we have dual controls. So we have the left and the right window, which is very cool. And gosh, this leather is so smooth. All right, so we have a handle here, and the seats will fold flat. Let me put the headrest in there a little bit, and they lock in place. Very nice material back here as well, very luxurious. And then of course, if we pull this handle again, they unlock. And the importance here is that you'll notice I'm holding a camera with my right hand and I'm functioning with my left hand. So this is a one-handed operation. It's very hard to do in other SUVs, so keep that in mind. And this is a 40-20-40 split, so we can go like this, and then the center folds down. That's very typical of the Audis now. My Q5 back in 2015 did that. I'm glad to see they're still doing it. We have the Bang & Olufsen stereo, which I have not tried out, but Bang & Olufsen is pretty dope in here, so I would recommend it. This is what it looks like from the back seat. Nice panoramic sunroof. There are no sunroof controls back here, and this lights up. Let me show you that real quick. Here are your back seat controls. So you have USB ports down here, and then of course this screen, we have heated seats, we have fan controls for left and right, because this is a 4-zone climate control system, which means individual fan speeds at each corner for the passengers. And then we have the different temperatures, or you can just keep it in auto. And of course you can override up front any settings back here. So I don't know about the heated seats though. And this is more like the cell phone screen. You just touch it and it makes a click sound. It's not the same as the screen operation up front where you have to actually push it. This is just a cell phone screen style touch. Okay. Very large ingress egress area. This is as wide as the door opens. And we'll look at the trunk. Let's turn that off. Now there is a trunk release button here. It is a powered trunk. As you'll see, the trunk opens. And the real test is, can you close it from here? All you have to do is just hold it down. Nope. What if you push it? Nope. It won't close. Maybe it will close if the vehicle's on. Okay, the car's on. The door is closed. Okay, let's try and close it now. There we go. Okay, so you could basically hold that button down and it will close when the vehicle is on, which is really cool because if you're like me and you pick up family from the airport, you don't bother getting out of the car. Let them put their stuff in the back. And then when they're done, you just hold down that trunk button. Let's open it again. So it says right there it's open. Let's see if I change our view for a second. Let's go through this menu real quick. Okay. Good to know, you can scroll down. All right, let's check out that trunk. Let's turn this off too. All right. So in the back, you'll see we have down-firing LED lights. We have our ability to close and also close and lock the trunk, which is good because you can just push that button and walk away. Here we have a protection kit for the Q8. What is this? Cleaning pad for the displays. This is cool. This adjusts the ride height, so you press that button. Okay, we also have this. Check this out. We have a sunscreen built into, and it's obviously manual, so there's no button to control that. It'd be awesome Audi if that was a power sunshade, but whatever. And of course we have our trunk protection here, which I don't believe is powered. I know it's powered in the all-road, which is the wagon. Who's ever going to use this? Tell me in the comments below if you use these things. I know it'd be handy if you don't want to hear stuff rattling around in the trunk. And of course this is probably a little tricky for people, or if you're short, you can't reach it, I don't know. Usually up in here is the warning triangle. I'm not going to bother taking stuff apart right now. And do we have a spare? That's probably somebody's question. I'll answer that for you. Yes, we do. Much better than a run flat. Because if you're out here in Texas and you get a flat between Austin and El Paso, you're a couple hundred miles from help. And you can't go that far on a run flat. All right, we'll close this. Take one more walk around. Obviously we have a tow hitch and fake exhaust pipes, but that's all right. Ooh, look how wide those tires are. One last thing I'll do is show you the key. Let's see, there it is, Audi Q8. So the key is much smaller and lighter. It's very light. So obviously this doesn't take up much space in your slacks and stuff like that. Good thing to have. And that's it. The brand new Audi Q8. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that good stuff. The white Audi A8, that's next. Thanks for watching.